Welcome back to another adventurous episode of Tomfoolery and Hullabaloo. I'm Sarah, your guide through the wild and wacky world of cryptozoology.
Man, and I'm Scott, the co-captain here on this hairy experience. Today we're actually going to dive into the legend of Bigfoot or Sasquatch or Yeti or all of the other names that it are out there about it. But I got to call you out about something real quick. You just said cryptozoology?
Yeah, zoology.
Zoology. It's not zoology?
No, it's not zoology. There's not three O's.
Yeah, but it's zoo, though.
It's zoo. I took zoology. I minored in biology in college. College is a place where people go after high school.
Extra education, get it?
And I took zoology, and on the first day of class, the professor was like, I don't want to hear anybody call this zoology class.
Well, then why is it called a zoo?
Because a zoo is a zoo, but there's not three O's in zoology. It's
So
Z-O.
if it was zoology, you're saying it would be Z-O-O-O-logy.
Logy.
So is it zoology or zoology?
It's going to be a eulogy if you don't drop this.
Fair enough. All right. Oh, I just never heard anybody say zoology before.
That's because you don't run in the right circles.
That's right.
Nerd alert.
Yeah.
I love biology.
Nerd alert. Yes, you are
4.0 in biology minor.
Well,
buddy.
Crypto.
Majored in animal science, master's degree in animal science. I think, what is behind your name that gives you the right to know how to say zoology?
I have an aeronautical science degree. There's no zoos in the sky.
I bet it was all a zoo.
Yeah.
I bet what you did for a living for 20 years with the military felt like a zoo.
It did feel like a zoo sometimes. Zoo of pilots in the sky.
Got vaccines when you didn't want them, and
that's right.
Got fed crappy food.
So cryptozoology, which is the first time I've ever heard it said like that.
So I guess I won the first Hullabaloo debate today.
Yeah, who even knew we were starting right at the beginning? But cryptozoology is like the study of mythical creatures. So Bigfoot's one of those, and we're going to talk a little bit about who he is. But like the Loch Ness Monster, Chupacabra, that's kind of a regional thing for us. Creatures like that. But people actually study it. Like it's a pseudoscience.
I doubt that's at most universities.
Well, no. I mean, believe it or not, I watched a documentary on this the other day. The guy who kind of propelled the myth or the science behind finding Bigfoot works at a university.
Yeah, is it the University of Northern New Hampshire University or whatever?
Maryland College University.
Yeah, .com.
Yeah. So no, it was someplace in Oregon. But who is Bigfoot? Let me talk. I pulled this up because I realized that while I know who Bigfoot is, you may not know who Bigfoot is. So
I wear a size 11. I know who Bigfoot is.
Well, yep, there's the mystery solved. It's Sarah.
It's me traipsing through the western United States.
And Kristen and my daughter Kate. All three of them.
We share shoes.
Share shoes because there's no other choice. But outside of the three of those ladies, Bigfoot or Sasquatch is a mythical large ape-like creature with a human gait, which means how they walk. And it's covered in hair, typically described as inhabiting the remote forests of North America, particularly in the Pacific Northwest. The legend, at least how I became aware of it, was in like the mid-20th century. Somebody claimed to have taken a video of it. And then it just kind of reignited this thing because Bigfoot or Sasquatch or whatever, a large hairy man, has existed in many, many cultures, including the indigenous cultures beforehand. And then the name Bigfoot came from a newspaper article in the 1930s that they published with a footprint that was Bigfoot. That's how we got the name Bigfoot. But it's pretty exciting. But my first real experience with Bigfoot was from a movie called Harry and the Hendersons in the 80s, where it's about a family who hits Bigfoot while they're out camping. They hit him with their car and they put him in the back of their car, and then he wakes up and he like lives with them. And it's a comedy, and it's great.
Was he verbal or did he just grunt?
I mean, eventually.
Did they teach him English?
Yeah, well, eventually he kind of learns from the family, learns how to say some things, and it's a pretty funny movie. But another thing to talk about how nerdy I really, really am, something else that really excited me about Bigfoot was in the early 2000s, they put out these like Star Wars What If comic books.
I guess y'all can all tell who wrote this episode, but go on.
Yes. And in one of these comics, that Harrison Ford plays Han Solo and Indiana Jones.
Correct.
Right?
I do love Harrison Ford.
Okay. So Han Solo, who is the Star Wars character that Harrison Ford plays, has a co-pilot that is a large, hairy man named Chewbacca.
Right.
And in this comic book, like they're trying to escape from like TIE fighters or whatever. They hit the hyperdrive. They don't know where they're going. They end up in this remote solar system. They crash land, and Han Solo dies from the crash. And Chewbacca just has to like live in the woods. And then like cut to later, Indiana Jones finds this mysterious cave out in the middle of the woods in the Pacific Northwest. And he goes into the cave and he sees the dead skeleton of Han Solo, and he's like, "Oh, this is weird. Like, I feel like I've been here before." And then they cut to a silhouette of Chewbacca in the trees, and the Indians that are with Indiana Jones that are kind of guiding him, they're like, "Ooh, Sasquatch!" And it's like, "Oh, Chewbacca is actually Sasquatch."
That's awesome.
Anyway, nerd moment done.
Don't worry, folks. We'll cut that part out of.
Don't worry about it. There's more nerding to come. No way. So let's
what are we doing first?
Let's kick it off with some top 10 facts about Bigfoot or Sasquatch. You could take the first one.
Bigfoot sightings. Did you know that there have been over 10,000 reported sightings of Bigfoot in North America? Just think about all the people who have claimed to spot him while out on a nature walk. That's a lot of sightings.
Well, in this documentary that I watched, they said that if you live in North America, you are within 200 miles of someone who has claimed to have seen Sasquatch somewhere. I don't know if that's true for us. There's not a lot of trees.
Yeah, he'd be a cave dweller.
Yeah.
There's no forest here.
He'd be trying
but it doesn't mean somebody hadn't gone off and explored the Pacific Northwest and come back and resides here. So
right.
It's not that you're within 200 miles of a sighting, just someone who believes in a sighting.
Well, yeah, I guess that's accurate. Okay, number 2, not just Bigfoot. In addition to Bigfoot, there are variations from around the world. In the Himalayas, they have YETI. And this one I just learned about. It's the Australian hairy man whose name is Yowie, which is Yowie.
Yowie. Like Howie.
Which is, sounds very Australian. Like
Yowie.
Yowie. Good eye, mate. Yowie. Anyway, but there's all sorts of different versions that are out there.
And the Yeti, I love, if you've been to Disney World Animal Kingdoms Park,
yeah,
Expedition Everest, and that whole ride is you're escaping from a Yeti attack basically, but throughout that exhibit it's full of photos, documents, things proving the existence of a Yeti on Everest and all these historical accounts. So as you're walking around, you're looking at pictures who have claimed to see him, footprints, sightings. Like, it's such a cool exhibit.
Well, and what's the other word for Yeti? I can't actually say it.
I don't know.
Well, it's like abdominal snowman.
Oh, the abominable snowman.
Yeah. What is it? Abominable?
Abominable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Probably the first time I've ever said that word.
The abdominal snowman.
I said it was something like. I knew that was wrong.
I'm glad you got that close because I was like, I have no idea what he's talking about. But then, abdominal snowman.
Abdominal snowman.
I do know who you're trying to talk about.
So what's that third fact, Sarah?
The footprint debate. Bigfoot's massive footprints are often described as being over 24 inches long. Now that is a hefty shoe size. Technically, when I have a shoe on, my foot's only 12 feet long. So, which comes in very handy. Now, barefooted, I'm not 12 inches long. It is not 12 inches long. But if I need to measure something out and I have a shoe on, I can nail it with my foot.
That's crazy. I actually have 2 feet that are 2 different sizes.
But your shoes aren't different sizes.
Well, no.
So that's what I'm saying.
They won't let me do that. Every time I go to the shoe store, they always check to make sure that they're both the same size.
I own a retail boutique, and we keep having somebody mix up the shoes and leave. And
it's not me.
No one's you're not a woman's age. No one's returning them like, oh, I got home with the wrong shoes. No, somebody is in there sabotaging us, and we're doing a horrible job of checking.
Because they have the same condition that I do.
They have the same condition that you do.
2 different size feet. All right, number 4, Sasquatch versus Bigfoot. So what's the difference? The name Sasquatch is describing who Bigfoot is. Bigfoot is just kind of like the local American one. The word Sasquatch comes from the Squamish people, which is an indigenous group, like Native American group from the Pacific Northwest, for the word Saskets, which just means wild man. So essentially,
I met a few of those in college.
Right. We're all related to a Sasquatch. I have one. His name is Uncle Walt.
So they're all related. Just
every single one of those wild men. That's right.
Famous footage. So the Patterson-Gimlin film shot in 1967 is the most famous footage claiming to show Bigfoot. Some argue it's real, while others think it's a guy in a suit.
Yeah, I have seen this this footage. I mean, of course, I've not seen the original footage. I've seen
Sure.
clips of it. One of my favorite like homages to that clip is in the Christmas movie How the Grinch Stole Christmas with Jim Carrey, and he's like walking like the Sasquatch guy does in that. So I don't know, it's pretty fun. The Yeti's diet. Check this out. The Yeti, which is the abominable snowman.
Ooh, you
Oh
nailed
man,
it.
like in the Himalayas. The people who believe in that argue that their snow dwellers survive on a diet of plants, which is hard to believe because it's so cold. So how are plants growing? But also the occasional rogue human.
Oh.
Like it's like,
Well, that makes sense. There's plenty of them littered along Everest.
well, right. I mean, that's true.
Spoiler alert.
We did talk about that. You
Yeah.
go back and listen to that episode. He's obviously wasn't. I mean, maybe that's where. Oh man, what was the guy's name? Mallory and
Yeah.
the other guy. That's where he is.
We're
He got
not
eaten by-
retaining anything that we're
Oh.
talking about.
He got eaten by a snowman.
Shout out to a recent podcast listener I ran into at the store, and she was like, "Oh, I've listened to your podcast. I have no idea what y'all were talking about. I can't remember." And I'm like, Great, nailed it.
Yeah, crushed it.
Nothing we're saying is being retained.
We also don't remember what we
also-
talked about. My mother will talk to me about a podcast episode as if I have just said the words that she listened to
6 months ago.
6 months ago, and she'll be like, "Do you really?" You know, and she'll just say a fact, and I'll be like, "Mom, I don't even know when I said that."
Yeah.
And she's like, "On the podcast." It's like, "Oh no,
Right.
yeah, I don't know."
I blacked out when I
Yeah.
recorded that.
It gets really hot in there, and I
It
just
does.
Europe, number 7.
The fur evidence. Research has actually found what they've claimed to be Bigfoot's hair, only later discover some of it belonged to a bear. So much for the hair-raising evidence.
Dun dun dun. So number 8, pop culture icons. I'm sure you guys have seen this. I almost wore a hat today. I think you actually sell them at your retail store.
Oh yeah, Sasquatch.
Sasquatch. I
Yeah,
love.
shout out to Sasquatch Outfitters in New Braunfels, Texas. They've got
Yeah.
some fun gear, and that's the name of their company.
Hey, and they're within 200 miles of us.
See?
Oh man,
Sighting.
we did it. So Bigfoot and Yeti have become really pop culture sensation, appearing in movies, cartoons, and inspiration for cereal mascots and all sorts of other things.
And billion-dollar companies.
Billion-dollar company in Texas, like Yeti
based out of Texas.
Cooler is
Yeah.
a Austin, Texas company, and they are crushing it.
Aggie grads.
Yeah, man, it's a good school.
Skeptics and debunkers.
Number 9.
Surprisingly, many scientists declare that there's no evidence of these creatures, often citing that it would be biologically improbable for such large animals to remain undetected.
Well, and I think we're going to debate that.
Yeah, I'm not even going to tell you what I think about all this because I got a debate coming up.
Okay. And then the last one is the merchandising madness, which kind of goes back to the pop culture icons because the Bigfoot economy is just booming. There's merchandise galore. Black Rifle Company uses Bigfoot on their marketing.
There's a soap company called Sasquatch.
Yeah, Sasquatch, the mail-in. I think you can get it other places now too.
But at grocery stores and
Yeah.
Walmart.
It's everywhere. Will, for his 18th birthday, got a T-shirt with a Volkswagen bus on it, but Sasquatch was sitting inside, or Bigfoot was sitting inside the Volkswagen bus.
I'm pretty
It's
sure
everywhere.
up in Jackson Hole, we went to Wyoming this winter, and I'm pretty sure they had Sasquatch, Bigfoot on a lot of their merchandise too. Because obviously, if he is real, he would hide out in Yellowstone, I would think.
Well, yeah, I mean, we were just in College Station, and our friends live outside of College Station in the county. And as we were driving, we came around the corner, and somebody had cut out a metal silhouette
yeah.
of a Sasquatch.
I took a double take on one of those, like for real. Like
Yeah.
I was fooled. I gasped and panicked, and the boys were like, "What?" And I was like, "It's not real. It's fine. It's a cutout."
Well, I mean, it was dark, and they didn't have
Exactly.
any street lights, and I was like, "Oh, what is that I'm seeing?"
Yes.
Oh, it's just
you jerks with the Sasquatches in your yard.
that's right. Okay, let's move on to some Would You Rather. What do you think?
Let's do it.
So,
First up,
yeah.
and I think I know the answer to this one already.
Well, why don't you throw this one at me? Okay, throw it at me then.
Would you rather go camping alone in known Bigfoot territory or in the Himalayas in search for Yeti?
What do you think I'm going to say?
You aren't going to Everest.
Absolutely not.
No.
I would rather be in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
Like
Much milder climate.
yeah, even if it was snow in the Pacific Northwest when I was camping there with Sasquatch, I know that snow is going to melt and it's going to be fine.
And there's been no, well, I'm a little loose with this observation, but weather, obviously, but a lot of people die on Everest. I don't think as many are being reported lost and missing in the Pacific Northwest at any given
That's
time.
right. I would hate being cold.
And if Bigfoot and Yeti are the culprits, the messages out of the Himalayas are much worse than the ones out of the Pacific Northwest.
That's right. Well, there's a movie called, like, it's not The Mummy Returns. It's a third Mummy movie with Brendan Fraser, and they fight.
He
Yetis.
looks like Sasquatch.
Well, he does a little bit now, but back then he looked much better. But he fought Yetis in the Himalayas. But anyway, I wouldn't want to do it either way. It's just too cold. So I've got one for you.
Okay.
Would you rather find definitive proof that Bigfoot does not exist, but not be able to tell anyone, or meet Bigfoot, who becomes your best friend, but he has to live in your house like Harry and the Hendersons?
Oh, no, I'm meeting Bigfoot. He's going to become my best friend. He can live with us. That's great.
Yeah.
What good is knowing Bigfoot exists and I don't get to tell a soul
Well, I mean,
about
is this
it?
not one of those?
I'm not going to lose sleep over knowing whether or not he's alive.
So this doesn't bother you whether it's real or not? Like, if people are being, aliens, the existence of aliens doesn't bother you?
No, I'm certain there's some form of life out there. It just, they haven't made it to our solar system.
Okay, so you put aliens and Bigfoot in the same category? I think I'm setting you up for later.
I'm not answering these
Oh,
questions.
okay. All right, well, you give me one then.
Would you rather have a Sasquatch roommate who never turns off the lights and refuses to shower? I think that person already lives in your house.
No, he just moved to College Station.
Oh, okay. Or, hold on. Let me try that again. Would you rather have a Sasquatch roommate who never turns off the lights and refuses to shower, or a Bigfoot roommate who constantly steals your snacks and leaves muddy footprints everywhere?
I know why she hesitated, because I wrote snakes.
He wrote snakes.
And it's supposed to be snacks.
That leaves his snakes everywhere.
I mean, look, if he's...
Again, I think this person lives with you.
Yeah. So I am a little weird about my snacks. Like, I will buy something that is desirable for me to snack on, but I'm not really a snacky person. And then I'll, like, eat some of it. I'll put it away, like put a little chip clip on it, leave it in the cupboard, and then I will come back 3 or 4 days later to have a snack, and it will be gone because Kristen or Will or Jack, they're very snacky. And so
folks.
it'll be gone. So I think, I don't know. I hate the lights being on too.
Yeah, I feel like, well, the refusing to shower, I have zero tolerance.
Right.
That's a non-negotiable for me. And I'm not that snacky. Or maybe I just...
But what about the muddy footprints thing? That would be pretty tough too, because they're stealing your snacks and leaving muddy footprints.
I have a dog. I have boys. I'm the only female in this house.
Yeah.
Muddy footprints abound.
Sure. Yeah.
Lack of snacks abound. I turn off all the lights. Like, give me either one. That's already what I'm dealing with.
Well, I've asked Jack every day this week to turn the lights off before he goes to school, and he has yet to do it.
No, mine didn't either.
So I guess I would take the Bigfoot who steals my snacks and leaves muddy footprints, because I already have that.
Yeah.
Easy. Okay, one last one, and this one's for you.
Yeah.
Would you rather be chased by a Bigfoot who is riding a unicycle, or try to escape a Bigfoot while you're on a unicycle?
Oh, this is easy. I want to escape Bigfoot on a unicycle.
You want to
He's top heavy. There's no way he's going to be coordinated enough. And then fast forward, there is no way I'm successfully riding a unicycle. That won't happen. I'm incapable. I'm the clumsiest person I know.
So you're
I want to
escaping-
be on foot and have him on.
You're running away from a Bigfoot who is proficient on a unicycle?
Yeah, absolutely.
No
Have you
way
ever
that-
seen anybody on a unicycle? What proficiency? Like, they're just tooting along the street. Like, he's not.
I mean, there's some.
He's
some of
not
those guys are
mountain
fast.
biking on a unicycle. No one's ever mountain biked on a unicycle.
Well, I guess you are in the mountains, so I guess that's a really
I'm
good
not.
point.
I'm not in front of Main Street, USA, trying to escape him. I'm in the mountains.
Man, who's manufacturing unicycles that a Bigfoot can ride on? I mean, they're like 900-pound ape men.
Probably the Norwegians.
Yeah, this is cousin Bob.
The Dutch are.
Yeah,
the Vikings. Those that have
Right.
made Vikings.
man, oh man. All right, well
All right, next segment.
that was fun. I cannot believe I wanted you to be on the unicycle. I wanted to picture it.
Dude, I barely ride a bike. Like, the fact of me on a unicycle would be bloody nose, road rash face.
I
Like,
was just kind of hoping to film it. I don't know.
you have to give me more of an incentive to get on a unicycle.
Running away from Sasquatch is...
I just ran 4 miles today, record breakneck speed. I'm getting away from Bigfoot. Don't you worry about it, folks.
Oh boy, record breakneck speed. 4 miles, 40 minutes.
For a 40-year-old. Breakneck speed for a 40-year-old.
All right, from the news desk.
All right. So, Scott, do you have a wild story for us today?
I do actually. It isn't necessarily about Sasquatch or Bigfoot, but it's kind of about the cryptozoology, crushed it,
I'm so proud of you.
arena. So this comes from the early 2000s, and maybe you remember this, but it was the infamous Montauk Monster. Did you remember seeing anything about this?
I mean, was that on MySpace?
Yeah.
I was in college. Oh, I was in high school in the early 2000s. Then,
you had to log on to AOL, and everybody was talking about it. Yeah.
That was the noise that was made.
Yeah, so the Montauk Monster was a weird creature found on the beach back in 2008. It was a mysterious creature that just washed ashore in Montauk, New York, and then people went nuts trying to figure out and identify what it was. Some of them thought it was an alien. Others swore it was like a mutant raccoon. Just couldn't tell what it was. So back in New York, right? That's where this is, like New York State, not New York City. There's beaches everywhere, but not like Hawaii Beach. Like they're like little narrow patches of beach. And this thing just washed ashore, and they could not identify it. And
because of it was like in a state of decomposition, or
yeah, so that's how the story ended up coming out. But if you see pictures of it online, it's just kind of like this gray amorphous blob.
Right.
And it kind of has a face, but not really has a face. And the shape isn't identifiable as like a fish or a raccoon. It kind of has hands, but they didn't really know.
Surprises. But you don't have to tell me what it was. Did they ever identify what it was?
They did.
Okay, keep going then. I just had to know that.
So,
spoiler alert, I read the end of books before I finish them.
What? Right.
I just need to know. Is he identified? Because if not, I got a rabbit hole to go dive down.
Well, the people who thought that it was a mutant raccoon were actually right. It was just a decomposing, swollen, hairless.
How big was this thing?
Raccoon.
How big are the raccoons? Well, in New York City.
I mean, our raccoons are massive.
I mean, but like here, not bigger than Bingo.
Well, I mean, some of them are like. Some raccoons, like if you look at a raccoon skeleton, they look like a small child because their hands are very human-like. And this Montauk Monster didn't have any hair, so its face was, confused. That somebody thought it was a sea creature, others thought it was a mole rat.
Yeah.
But it was just a raccoon that had maybe fallen out of a tree and just been in the water for so long. And
how long did it go? Like, how long did that go on?
They didn't. Oh. Trying to figure out what it was. Yeah. There's still people that say that it's a conspiracy, that it wasn't a raccoon, that this actually was like a mutant, the cryptozoologists or whatever that are out there. And it was pretty exciting. It's kind of like in the mid 90s when like chupacabra became a thing, because, when I was a kid, it was the new mythical creature. And now it's kind of, commonplace what a chupacabra is. Like for us that know and understand Spanish or live around the Spanish culture, like chupacabra just means like goat sucker. But this mythical creature was going around and like sucking the blood of like goats and sheep.
Yeah, killing livestock.
Right. And they still actually don't know what was doing that.
Right.
It had to have been chupacabra.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, this creature, the Montauk Monster, sparked all sorts of theories, paranoia, and a little excitement. And people were like camping out on the beach, hoping that they would spot Bigfoot or Yeti, or that like another one of these creatures would come up on the shore.
That's insane. Like that would be that important to anybody. I can't even imagine.
Well, it was 2008. It was a different time. We were going through a recession. We had been
that's
in war
true. A lot of people
while.
Unemployed. I'm like, what are people doing with their lives? Camping on the beach, hoping to see Bigfoot.
So I am prone to conspiracy theories. And
yes.
My favorite part about this entire story is that people just won't let it go.
Sure.
Like it is still a thing. It actually, if you drive up there, it's like if you go to
is there a memorial for the Montauk Monster?
Well, yeah, and it's like big merchandising, and
Lord have mercy.
And if you go into New Mexico and you go to, what is it, Roswell?
Yeah.
Where they claim that
aliens everywhere.
Yeah, aliens everywhere.
Yeah.
Whether it happened or not, it's good marketing, and people just won't let it go.
I hate conspiracy theories, and this is part of the reason why. Because one, no amount of information ever changes the conspiracy theorist's mind. I feel like they're a dog with a bone, and you can't do anything to outdo it. And then you put a monetization influence on it, and then those people are going to continue to perpetuate the lore. And
Yeah.
I think that's my biggest problem with it all.
Well,
But you drive into Roswell, New Mexico, and it's so, what is the word, depressing, really. Like,
well, yeah.
they're clinging to it like it's their own. I'm sure it was a boon for business there shortly thereafter, but now that's just remnants of the sadness of an economy that fell apart.
Yeah. Well, and what's fascinating about the Roswell thing, which if you don't know, that's where they claim in the late 1940s the UFO crashed or whatever.
We may have to do a podcast
Yeah,
on that.
maybe. I would be very excited about that
Oh,
one.
God. We're gonna have to wait a while.
But that was in like 1947, 1948, and people are still trying to benefit, and people are still going to Roswell looking for evidence of aliens. Like I don't know.
And government conspiracies and cover-ups.
Right. I don't know. It's pretty exciting. I mean, I
get my excitement elsewhere.
from fiction.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, I mean, I feel like we've already started anyway.
Yeah, we just need to go forward with this. All right, now it's time for the Hullabaloo debate portion of our podcast. This is where we have a silly and fun debate on a topic. And today we'll be discussing, is Bigfoot real or not?
Well, why don't you tell me first? Just don't give me any evidence. Just tell me, is he real or is he not?
Bigfoot's real.
You think Bigfoot's real?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
now you don't want any evidence, or do you need evidence?
Well, I'm gonna need evidence, because that seems suspicious. Because I actually would argue that he's probably not.
And are we gonna just group Yeti, Bigfoot, like,
yeah, all
hairy, mysterious creature?
Right.
Yeah.
So
okay. He's real.
I would say that, like Roswell, like this Montauk Monster, all of these things, while they're fun and I get excited and I nerd out about them, I actually just I don't accept it as real. Like, I am prone to conspiracy theories, but these I feel like fall under myths, and
yeah,
I just don't believe it.
I think my opening argument will be that there have been tens of thousands of sightings of him, and they go back for millennia, really.
Sure.
For thousands of years, there's been documents of these large, hairy beasts that are elusive.
But that's a bear.
It could be a bear in some cases, but the fact that it's not just like a small group of kooks that are doing it, scientists, in law enforcement, hunters, hikers, it's a broad group of people that have laid this fact out on the line.
Yeah. I mean, I can see that, like in like 1902 or 1905 or something like that, they discovered a previously unknown group of gorillas,
sure,
in the Congo. So there is evidence for that.
I mean, I would argue there are millions of unknown species, plant, animal, fungi, eukaryotic, prokaryotic species. So many that we don't even know exist yet.
Kristen
we
and
can't
I watched
document them yet.
Kristen and I watched a documentary the other day about the bloop, which was like the most mysterious sound heard in the ocean. And from the point of origin, it was heard 3,000 miles away. And in this documentary, they were talking about how they discover like 2 new species of underwater creatures, I don't know, like every year or something like that.
Previously,
it's so deep.
We kind of always had this fantasy species, the giant squid.
Right.
We had heard about it for hundreds of years from sailors and shit, but it wasn't until like 2004 that we finally were able to prove there was there, and it's a giant squid.
Yeah, not a big squid, a giant squid.
It's not a bacteria we hadn't seen before.
Yeah, but so the reason that I don't believe that he is real is because it's 2025, right? And while discovering new species in the ocean makes more sense, because it's so much water. Like, if you think about how much water is out there, and oh, by the way, the bloop, the big mysterious noise, was actually just an iceberg falling off of Antarctica and just crashing into the water.
Right.
And it just, like, they sped up the noise, and it actually just goes bloop. pretty funny. They didn't know, and they do all this research and find it. But the Pacific Northwest, where they keep saying that there's all these sightings of Bigfoot, is not that big. Like, we have drones, we have
Well, but your Patterson Gremlin film was shot in California,
in 1967.
and it's never been disproved. They've never been able to prove it wasn't a hoax.
I mean, yeah, but how could you prove that? I guess you'd have to find the costume.
I don't know.
But it just looks like a dude in an ape costume.
There's tons of footprints of these large feet with actual skin. It's not just like they've casted. They can see almost like the fingerprint or the footprint.
Yeah, but
very sophisticated footprints that have been discovered and been casted.
With
dermal ridges, they're called.
How excellent! You did a little research for this debate. I see.
Didn't have much time, but I tried.
Yeah. But I cannot.
Here's the deal. How many mountain lions have you seen?
I've seen one alive.
Yep, alive.
Right.
Not in a trap.
Not in a trap.
Yeah. Where? Tell me more.
It was actually, we lived in North Del Rio. We're in South Del Rio now, but we lived in North Del Rio, and we were out for a hike, and there he was.
Yeah.
Just walking, and we went, okay, let's go the other way.
Exactly. I mean, and so there are probably 30,000 mountain lions in the United States. I don't think there's 30,000 Bigfoots, but
well, the documentary I watched said that there's only about 2,000. They estimate if they exist, there's about 2,000.
Yeah, much smaller sample size. So my point is, there are tens of thousands of these cats living amongst us, and we never see them often unless we're trapping them. If we're using dogs to hunt them, we see the remnants of it. We see what they've attacked and killed.
Yeah,
all
but
the time. They are elusive.
So even that. But there's still evidence of them. Like, we have trapped
because there's
them.
a higher percent. There's more to.
But we've trapped mountain lions. We've seen more than just the footprint. We've seen the evidence. We've seen the scat. Like, we don't see.
Bigfoot digs a hole and he poops responsibly and then covers it up, and there's no reason that you're going to find that.
So one of the oldest reportings, and I actually think that you'll love this fact. One of the oldest reportings of a hairy covered strong man. Comes from like
your grandfather?
Yes, comes from old granddad. No, it's from like 1894, and it's a memoir written by Theodore Roosevelt. And it's about his time trapping in North and South Dakota, and he recites or tells us a story about an old guy who was talking about being up in the mountains in like the Black Hills area, and how they kept seeing evidence in their campsite of something. And so every night they would come back and something would disturb their camp, and they would see all these big footprints. And so most of the group went out acting like they were going to go trapping at night, but they left one guy back. And when they came back, the guy had been like, his back had been broken and he was all bloody from this attack from this giant thing. And in Teddy Roosevelt's memoir, he says the guy was it was their biggest guy. And so for someone to do that, it had to have been, something that was 600 pounds, 900 pounds to do this to him. All of that being said, it's just a bear. Like, I don't think that there's a gigantic ape thing wandering around in the woods, breaking people's backs and playing hide and seek. Like, that's the Sasquatch thing, like hide and seek champion since the beginning of time or whatever. It just, I don't know.
So no Loch Ness Monster, no Yeti.
No, I think they've even proved that the Loch Ness Monster was
Chupacabra. I think that one's easier to prove because you're in just one lake. You're not searching all the lakes.
Right.
Maybe she died before we had the technology.
You think Nessie died?
She really was alive, and then she died. Then we got the technology to try to find her. Couldn't find her.
Now she's gone?
So she was real.
That's a sad story that you just shared with us, Sarah.
So was you telling us Teddy Roosevelt's buddy got his back broken.
Hey, a bear did it.
I just think the sheer volume of the reports that are out there is one reason to believe. And the fact that there's some cultural consistency. Indigenous tribes across the world had this mythical creature in their and maybe he doesn't. This is my point with Nessie. Maybe he's not alive today, but it doesn't mean he didn't exist and we have now eradicated him.
I would accept that a large hairy man lived out in the woods. I can accept that. Like, there's even a Babylonian story about how the emperor King Gilgamesh befriended a wild beast man, and through his hanging out with this wild beast man, they were able to bring peace between nature and man, right?
Yeah.
But so what? People grow hair and go out into the woods. Those are called hermits, right? They're not mythical creatures. They're just
Well, I don't think they're a
everyone's
mythical
crazy
creature either.
uncle.
They're just creatures. They're not mythical. They're
Well,
real.
so you don't believe that Bigfoot exists? Because
No, I
Bigfoot
do.
is a mythical creature.
No, I'm saying he's not mythical. Mythical insinuates he doesn't exist. I'm saying he's not a mythical creature. He's a creature.
Yeah, he's a wild, hairy man that lives out in the woods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of a primate nature. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
humans.
good. We agree.
Humans. Yeah, I don't think that I don't think he's an ape. I think he's just somebody's crazy uncle that people are
But he
seeing.
does exist. That's what I'm hearing.
Well, I guess if Bigfoot is someone's crazy uncle, then yes, he does exist.
Okay, I hear it. You heard it here first, guys. Bigfoot hullabaloo debate over. Bigfoot does exist.
Yes, Scott wins. Bigfoot doesn't exist. He's someone's crazy uncle. We both agree. I love it. Anyway, I love doing these mythical things. I hope that we can do more episodes on cryptozoology.
I don't.
Or, well, that's because your imagination is limited to historical fiction and
Yes.
spy novels.
Correct.
But I do really like these things. If you guys have ideas for what you would like to hear Sarah and I debate about, you can throw it in the comments like, hey, Bigfoot was really silly and I didn't like it, or it was really silly and I loved it. Let us know, because we'd love to hear your ideas. Because what Sarah and I have proved to ourselves in the last few weeks is that we can literally talk
about anything.
That's right. And we don't have to back it up because we barely do any research. So it's wonderful.
And then you get to do your own.
That's right.
Thank you guys for listening, and we hope to see you soon.
Yeah, can't wait.